Motor Club.
What's going on, fellow MCA members abroad all over the world, America, Canada, Peru. How's everybody going? This is none other than Maurice Trimble Jr., the role model representing MCA, of course. And this video is going to be a very, very good Paramount video, because what I'm going to talk about in this video is something that everybody in MCA that does MCA as a business, as a home business, what everybody wants, and that's more sales, right? Okay, this is going to be part of the training that I give. I give all the kind of training for free, tutorials, things that help you to scale and advance your MCA business so that you could be able to make more money, definitely have more closes on your sales that you have, and most of all, to be able to spread the message of MCA throughout the households so that we can help a lot of people be able to understand what we have to offer in case people need income to make money from home, in case they want to be able to make extra money and they don't have to work that job and just concerned about the actual employment income they get. They can have some extra additional income coming in by spreading the word of MCA, being part of this beautiful program, and being able to have these unlimited services, these definite great benefits and discounts, and you can have peace of mind knowing that you have that protection at hand, and you can be able to make extra money as well. All right. So when you bring more value to the marketplace, when you bring more value to people's lives, you're able to benefit from that. And that's where MCA comes in. But so without further ado, let's jump right into it. We're going to talk about some powerful information in this video. So definitely, I know you're going to love it. Make sure you like this video. Share the video with your teams or anybody else that may need help with MCA that's struggling to make sales on a weekly basis and to make weekly commissions come in. All right. But with that being said, let me start the video off by letting you know that understanding one thing, okay? The first thing before we get into the closes, because I'm going to share some closing techniques from two mentors of mine. One of them mainly Brian Tracy. Another one is Zig Ziglar. Two men that are very paramount. If you don't know who they are, I suggest that you look them up, and definitely it'll shine some light on, or shed some light on, significant information that can help you with building your business from home. Okay, so first thing to understand, in order to understand MCA sales, I'm gonna just direct you to your attention here to my whiteboard. This is MCA training for closing sales. This video is specifically only for closing sales, whether it's on the phone, whether it's door to door, if you're knocking, even if it's online. All right, online calls is coming into you left and right, or if you're calling people, even if you have sales funnels with funnel cloning, funnel hacking, having a lot of people go, or traffic they say, go to your website, people are still going to call you. So you need to know what to say to people. You need to know how to handle the situation. And of course, the MCA professional that does the best job with understanding that they want to help the customer to fully understand what we have, fully understand what we're about, they're going to make the best sales transactions. They're going to make the best outcome for that customer, for yourself as well, because you will be able to get more commissions, and for the company MCA in a whole, because the more that the company makes more money, the more profitable the company is, the more that, hey, this MCA ball keeps rolling. All right. So remember, even though I'm sharing this information with you, the ball is in your court, like the NBA. Okay, the ball is in your court. You have to put forth the effort. Okay, you being a sales associate, a person that just refers these memberships, refer our program to other people, you have to make sure you understand that you have to put forth the effort. You put forth a little effort, you get a little bit of commissions every week. If you put forth a lot of effort, a gigantic amount of effort, you'll get a lot of commissions, okay, on Friday. All right, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so I'm going to go pretty fast in this video, so make sure you put on your mental track shoes and run with me, if you will. Okay, so get out a notepad, because I'm going to have a lot of information in here that you can utilize to help you take your business to the next level if you take it seriously and take advantage. All right, so here we go. This is MCA training video, closing sales. You got to understand the 3 EQ method, I say. Okay, you got one of the E's is enthusiasm, one is expectancy, qualifying is the Q, and then Empathy is the E. All right. So with that being said, understand, okay, you got to understand, before we get into the clothing methods I'm going to share with you, understand that sales in general, okay, as Zig Ziglar says, everything evolves around sales in the world. When you meet that prospect, the person that has the potential to buy, okay, the actual membership service that we have, that person, you got to understand this is a psychological thing that happens here. All right. And when you understand that the psychological antecedents for closing sales, you'll be better in your ratio of closing. Okay. It said that 80% of people close sales after 5 attempts. Okay. And only 10% usually make it to the 5 attempts after they hear the word no or not interested. Okay. And remember, no, ladies and gentlemen, just means NO just stands for not open. Okay, they're not open-minded to what you have. That's where you come in as the salesperson, as the sales associate, the referral agent. That's where you come in to help them, take them on that path to where, even though they have a lot of sales resistance, they got their hands up, they're like, no, I don't want it, I'm not interested. You got to treat those no's as a way to take them on the process, if you will, to where they can feel more comfortable about what we're talking about what we offer MCA, so you can help them understand. All right. So number one is have enthusiasm. Okay. This is not like the rah, 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 yay, yay, like jumping around enthusiastically. This is an enthusiasm that's known as constrained enthusiasm, meaning you have it internally within, like a kettle boiling over. You're just about to explode. Okay. This enthusiasm, you have to understand, sales take place when your enthusiasm is transferred to the customer, to the prospect. Okay, when you transfer your enthusiasm to another individual, that's when a sale takes place. All right, Ralph Waldo Emerson said it best. It says, nothing was ever accomplished without enthusiasm. So that's how important enthusiasm is. All right, so if you believe in the product, if you have faith in the product, the service that we have, that's going to come across to when you're talking to anybody out here in the world, okay, about MCA, about your business. Okay, the second one, E, is expectancy. You need to have, you need to act as if the customer is going to say yes every time to what you have. You got to act as if that's going to happen. You got to replay it in your mind, constantly think about that. Don't think about the negative. You want to be resilient. You want to stay focused on that customer, honed in to what that customer, what you can provide that prospect to give them, so that they can take advantage of this beautiful product that we have with MCA, because we know everybody can use this service. All right, so you want to act as if, have an expectancy, have a confidence. You know, it's always said the ABCs of closing. If anybody has ever seen the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, they say the ABCs of closing, always be closing, ABC, right? Well, I say, I give you another acronym. The ABC could also be always be consistent. Always be confident with expectancy, right? Always be with class. Always be courteous as well. So those are some more ABCs, okay? Because remember, if you really break down MCA, it stands for Motor Club of America, of course. Okay, it's been around for over 90 years, okay? But also MCA stands for more commission for assets, okay? More customers will give you commissions. Right? So you put that together. So more more customers will bring you assets. Okay. And you're always the ABC when you switch it around. MCA is what I'm talking about. Yeah. So more commissions for assets, but you want to always be bringing customers. ABC. That's what I mean. So remember, always have that confidence when you're speaking to anyone about MCA. Okay. And also you have the Q, qualifying the prospect. Whenever you speak to a prospect, you want to make sure you ask a certain probing questions, things of that nature, to qualify the prospect. Okay, this comes before the closing. That's why I'm sharing all of this with you. You got to have the right mindset before you do these closing techniques. Okay, and they work. 80% of the time, these closes will work. But you got to understand, does the prospect have a need for what you want? Or where we know everybody does need MCA, but you got to make sure who you're talking to, do they have a need for it? All right, you got to make sure that can they use it? You got to make sure, can they afford it, and do they want it? Those 4 things, okay? Do they need it? Do they want to use it? Can they afford it? And do they want it? Those are the things you need to make sure that you get underway before you can be able to make any money, okay, with MCA to actual benefit that prospect, all right? And now, one more thing I want to throw in here before we get to the closing techniques. You got to make sure you understand Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, if I believe so, one element of Murphy's Law is before you do anything, you have to do something first. Before you do anything, you have to do something first. And that's where I'm sharing these techniques with you and having the mindset first before you go in to the prospect and speak to whoever it is about your business and have success. All right. So remember, always remember another thing. Selling is not telling. Selling is asking. Okay. Remember, selling is not telling. Selling is asking. Don't be like whoop, whoop, whooping and just hooping and hollering and just talking and talking so much that you talk over the prospect. And that's not how selling occurs. Okay, from the cradle to the grave, everything in this world revolves around sales. You're either selling someone on your ideas, selling them on yourself, or someone is selling you how they're not buying into what you're talking about. So either you're selling the prospect or the prospect is selling you. One of the two is going to occur. Okay, and if someone doesn't like sales, as they say, they just should look around. Okay, everything in the world, okay, evolves around sales. So you're going to be a part of it, whether you like it or not, whether directly or indirectly. And since we're in the arena of direct sales, why not get good with sales? Okay, you have plenty of information, well, lots of information out here where you can learn to hone your craft, to get better with it. And then once because being an entrepreneur in itself, you have to learn how to sell. You have to know how to sell. It's not just about a product or a service. You got to know how to sell yourself. All right. So that's definitely, remember that selling is not telling, selling is asking. Okay. Also, there's something called a Freudian slip that Brian Tracy talks about, which is very true, that if you talk to the prospect long enough, and if you get them talking long enough with asking questions, they will tell you what will sell them. They will tell what will sell. You just got to get the customer, the prospect, talking long enough and ask them questions so that they're talking, and they will tell what will sell them. Got it? Okay. And just remember, anytime in these procedures, these techniques that I'm going to give you, you have to question skillfully and listen carefully. Make sure you remember that point. That's a very, very important point. Question skillfully. Okay, the greatest salesmen on earth, the greatest people that just do very well with commissions in their businesses, they question skillfully, but they listen carefully. You got to listen to what the prospect says because they will tell you what they want. All right. With that being said, let's go into the first close. Okay, this is a close called the telephone close or the door close. Okay, I'm going to use a couple examples. Okay, so say, for instance, I'm going to use myself. I'm going door to door, knocking on the door. All right. And or when I get to the door, I'll say, hi there. Do you live here? That's number one. That's a question, right? Because it could be a person visiting. You need to make sure you get to the right person. You don't want to waste your time or their time if it's not the right person telling them about this MCA opportunity because you're there for a certain reason or you're calling that person on the phone for a certain reason. All right. So you say, hello there. Do you live here? Now, say if they said yes, I'm saying, okay, great. Well, who would I speak to who makes the decisions in regards to the vehicle's protection for the home? That's what you ask, okay? Who would I speak to who makes the decisions in regards to the vehicle's protection for the home? Say if they said, oh, that'd be Rick. I'm like, okay, great. May I speak to Rick, please? Okay, now when you speak to Rick, say you got Rick here. Okay, now Rick is there. You say, hello, Rick. My name is Maurice Trimble Jr. And my reasoning for knocking on your door is I need to speak with you about something very serious. But first, may I ask you a question, please? You see that? Can I ask you a question? And he says, okay, sure, go ahead. I'll be like, how would you like to see a service that will enable you to save more of your hard-earned money and that will give you unlimited protection for you, your family, as well as your vehicle in case of an emergency, whenever you need it? You see that question? That's what you're asking them. How would you like to see a service that will enable you to save more of your hard-earned money and you can get unlimited protection for you, your family, and your vehicle whenever you need it in case of an emergency? Now, with this being said, say if the prospect told you he told you something of along the lines of, no, I'm not interested, or I'm not interested. You say, where's the prospect? That's exactly what I'm going to talk to you about. And all I need is just 10 minutes of your time, and definitely you could judge for yourself if it's something that you want or not. You see, that's how you move past that. Okay, just need 10 minutes. Whenever you're talking on the phone or whenever you're doing door to door, you're selling the appointment. You're selling the 10 minutes. That's what you want to do first, not the service. You don't want to ramble on about the service on the phone or the product of what MCA can offer the service. You're selling the 10 minutes. You want to get an appointment. That's why it's called the telephone appointment close, okay, or the door knocking appointment close. That's what it's called, all right? So you just say, all I need is 10 minutes, okay, 10 minutes of your time. I'll show you what I got. And if it's not something that you're looking for, then when you judge it for yourself, then you don't have to worry about it. Fair enough? Okay, so I just need 10 minutes of your time. I'll show you what I got, and you can judge for yourself if it's something that you want or not. Or if he says, well, how much is it? You know, you get that price always a lot. They're like, how much is it? You say, well, Mr. Process, if it's not exactly what you're looking for, then there's no charge at all. Okay? If it's not exactly what you're looking for or what you want, then it doesn't cost you anything. All right? I just need 10 minutes of your time. I'll show you what I got, and you can judge for yourself if it's what you want or not. You see that? That's how you get past the price objection or the cost objection. All right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if they tell you, let me think about it, or, well, tell me something about it. That's what I want to know. Tell me something about it. We say, well, I would love to tell you, Mr. Prospect, but it's something I have to show you first. So I just need 10 minutes of your time. Again, just 10 minutes, and I will show you what I got, and you can judge for yourself if it's something that you want or not. Fair enough? All right, so that's that close, okay? It's a very powerful close, okay? Let me give you another close. This is the approach close. The approach close. This close is built on the premise that in the beginning, buyers, the customers, their defenses are way up, okay? They're subject to, it's like they have buyer's remorse in advance, in a way, okay? And you want to get over that preoccupation right off the bat, okay, of that conceived notion of them having their guard up. Okay, so this goes like this close. You say, Mr. Prospect, I'm not going to try to sell you anything right now. So you just relax. Okay, you can just relax. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. Okay, what I'm going to do is I want to show you some reasons why thousands of other people buy this service and continue to buy it over the years. And what I would like to do is show you those reasons, and then you be the judge if you can apply this to you and your situation. And then, one way or the other, you can give me a decision if it's something that you would want or not. Fair enough? Okay, so pretty much you're letting them know that I just want to show you some reasons why thousands of people buy it, and people buy it continually over the years. You be the judge if this can apply to you and your situation, and one way or the other, you give me a decision if you feel that this can apply to your situation, if this can benefit you. Fair enough? Okay. Now, what this does is that this is getting you to have the prospect to commit before you even get into your presentation. Now, say if they came at the end of the presentation, they said, oh, well, I want to think about it, or we got to think it over. You say, well, Mr. Prospect, you agreed or you promised that one way or the other, you would give me a decision. Okay. And from what we gathered, it looks like this will be ideal for your situation. You see that? Okay, so as you can see, those are just different types of, it's a different scenario and a different approach, but that's why it's called the approach close, because you're getting out the way their preconceived notion of them before the presentation starts that they're going to say, I want to think about it. Okay, you're already getting that commitment from them. All right. Another close. This is called the demonstration close. Okay, the demonstration close goes off of the premise that you're going to get them to commit before you even start talking about anything. It's a good opener. Okay, you could be like, Mr. Prospect, if I could show you the best, the finest, and the cheapest unlimited protection for you, your family, and your vehicle, would you be in a position to make a decision today? You see that? If I could show you the best unlimited protection for you, your family, and your vehicle, would you be in a position to commit to $20 a month for the service today? See, you're getting them to give you an answer right off the bat. Okay, you're saying it's the best, it's the finest, it's the cheapest unlimited protection in the world that you've ever seen in your life, would you be in a position to make a decision today? Would you be in a position to make a $40 commitment today to join? Would you be in a position to pay just $20 a month? Can you commit with that? Can you commit to that every month? Okay, so that's the demonstration. You're letting them know that you're going to demonstrate to them something that's going to make sure, but you want to make sure it benefits them, but you want to make sure that they can commit. This is a good way to bring out the price objection, to see if they have the money, if they can afford the $40 to join and the $20 a month. All right. Now, so far as there's another close called a hot button close. Now, the hot button close is regarded by some as one of the best closes of all, because the hot button close, it pretty much operates on this this premise that when someone likes something, a benefit, a core benefit, a key benefit, some type of an aspect, a feature, it's called a hot, that's their hot button. You want to push that button over and over and over through your presentation. So say if they say, oh, I really like the towing, Mr. Prospect, you can ask them if you could bring out the hot button. You can say, Mr. Prospect, let me ask you as you're presenting it, Mr. Prospect, what do you like the most about it? Or Mr. Prospect, which one do you think that you benefit the most from? Now, when they tell you what it is, you keep talking about that. The rest of the features and benefits are good, of course, with MCA, but that is irrelevant to that customer. They'll use it all, but they want something specific. Remember this, 80% of buying decisions usually come off of 20% of the feature or the benefit. It's the old 80-20 rule, all right? So remember that. Keep pushing the hot button. Another close is the invitational close. The invitational close is really simple. It's just that when you're in your presentation, you don't have to wait way to the end to get the actual price out there to close the person. You just ask them, oh, Mr. Prospect, do you like what you see? And they be like, yes, yes. Does it look like that you and your family can benefit from this? And the prospect's like, yes, 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 it does. You'd be like, well, why don't you give the service a try? Okay, why don't you take it? See, you just ask them in a subtle way, why don't you give it the service a try? Why don't you give it a try? Okay, and you smile and you say it with confidence. Everything here you say with confidence. And might I add, after you say each one of these closes, you hush up. Okay, don't say anything. When you ask, there's an old saying, as Mr. Brian Tracy told me, that I've learned in one of his lectures, that he says that the only pressure in a sales presentation that you should come across is the pressure of the close, the pressure of the silence when you ask that closing question. When you ask the closing question, you are supposed to be silent. And the old saying goes, whoever speaks first loses. So when you ask these questions, you'll be silent and let them answer. All right? Now, one of my favorites is the instant reverse close. The instant reverse close is really a lot of door-to-door people use this a lot, especially DirecTV, any cable companies, satellite any kind of company that's direct door-to-door. What it is say when you knock on the door, okay, someone says, when you say yes, and you go into your little spill that, how would you like to see a service that would allow you to save a lot of your money? And then they just cut in and say, I'm not interested. They just cut you off and they're belligerent. I'm not interested. You say, well, Mr. Prospect, that's exactly why you need it. And you just hush up. You say, Mr. Prospect, that's exactly why you should take it. And they're going to say, huh? What? Usually they're going to say that because you're coming at them at such an angle to where they didn't expect that. So before they close the door, you say, that's exactly why you should take it. Or that's exactly why you need it. And they be like, huh? What? And then when you go into this part, that's when you say, well, because someday you or someone in your family is going to have an emergency, okay? And you cannot avoid it. We all have emergencies. And when you get in that emergency situation, you want to have unlimited protection. Because if you don't have it, it's going to cost you a lot of time, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and it's just more of a headache. So that's why it's exactly why you need it. And I just need exactly 10 minutes of your time. I'll show you what I got, and you can judge for yourself if it's something that you want or not. Fair enough? So you could turn this actual not interested right off the bat, turn it around to be in your favor. You understand kind of how that goes? Okay. Now, say if you're calling on the phone, you'd be like, and you start going into your spiel and the prospect says, yeah, I'm not interested. Don't call back. You say, Mr. Prospect, that's exactly why I'm calling. You say it boldly, say it strongly. That's exactly why I'm calling. He's like, huh? What? What are you talking about? You'd be like, well, Mr. Prospect, most of our customers, most of our people that we talked to in the very beginning were initially not interested in our service, okay? And what we found is that the ones that are really not interested, they are actually the exact person we're looking for because they can take maximum advantage of our service. So that's exactly why I'm calling, because you're not interested. Now let me ask you, sir, I just need exactly 10 minutes of your time. I'll share with you what I got, and you can judge for yourself if it's something that you're looking for or not. Fair enough? Okay? And then you can set the appointment. Bang, you just go into the close, just like that. Okay? So that's how you get over that objection. Even if they say, I don't want the service. Well, Mr. Prospect, that's exactly why you need it. Because, and you're like, huh? What do you mean? Exactly what I need? Because, Mr. Prospect, right now, you probably have coverage right now. But the only thing is, it's limited. It's only going to cover you for so much. All right? And if you don't have unlimited protection, okay, you got to take a look at this. This is the best coverage, the finest price, it's the most affordable price, and it's unlimited. All right? And it's going to be able to save you a lot of effort, a lot of headache, a lot of time, a lot of money. Okay, I just need 10 minutes of your time. Show you what I got. You can judge for yourself if it's something you want or not, right? So the next close is the Franklin close. By far, it's one of the best closes that's been known to man. Okay, Benjamin Franklin, one of America's first self-made millionaires, if not the first. He started off penniless with nothing. Okay, the Benjamin Franklin close is pretty much to where you're in a presentation, the person can't make a decision, and the prospect is just really unsure. They're very unsure. They're scratching their head. So what you say is, Mr. Prospect, okay, how about this resolution? How about this resolution? Okay, let's use the Benjamin Franklin method. Okay, are you familiar with Benjamin Franklin? They'd be like, yeah, of course. You know, I know who Benjamin Franklin is. Everybody knows who he is. If you know about money, you know Benjamin Franklin. You say, well, Benjamin Franklin has this method that he used to make decisions on. He used it a lot. And he's one of America's first millionaires. So I would say, let's use this method, okay? I'm going to grab a piece of paper. I'm going to draw a line through the middle. And when I draw a line through the middle, I'm going to put on one side in favor of. And I'll show you. I'll show you right now. So this is what you do with the prospect. You're going to draw a line. I'll put MCA. You draw a line down the middle. Okay, like that. You put in favor of. And on this side, you put opposed to. So on one side, you put in favor of. The other side, you put opposed to. You do this. And on this side, in favor of, you write all the benefits that MCA gives, all the features, all the benefits. The other side, you give the paper to the prospect, you give him the pen, and then you say, okay, Mr. Prospect, you fill out that side. And you let him fill out the other side. Now, as he fills out that side, I've never seen someone get usually to 2-3 items on that side. And pretty much they're done. They can't think of too much more. They can't think of anything else. And you sit back, and you say, Mr. Prospect, are you done with that? Finished with that side? And when he says, yes, I'm finished, you say, well, Mr. Prospect, it looks like you made your decision. And you just smile. Look like you made your decision. And you hush. Okay? Because what that's going to do, that silence, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to let them know that they possibly made their decision. Okay? And that's what you want. All right. Now, the next close is the change places close. I love this close a lot. Okay? This is 1 second to the last one. And change places close, it goes like this. Mr. Prospect, if they're just not telling you what the reason why they don't want to join, they're not telling you the reason why they just don't want to pull the trigger on this. They just don't want to have this membership. You say, Mr. Prospect, would you change places with me for 1 second? Okay, put yourself in my shoes. All right, imagine, if you will, you're talking to someone about someone that you really respected, and you were showing them this service. You were showing them this service. It was really good for them. It can help them out, and they just wouldn't give you a decision one way or the other. What would you do if you was in my position? What would you do if you were in that position? And then you hush. Okay, you'd be like, tell me, sir, is it the money? Okay, or here's another good question you could use, a good closing one. What could we do to do a deal today? Ask them. Okay, Ask them, what can we do to do a deal today? Or actually, here's another one. How far apart are we? Okay, because it may be that they have the $40, they might have like $30 or $20. It can be something like that. So you want to let them know that you're in it with them. You're putting your heads together to make this work. You say, what could we do to do a deal today? How far apart are we right now? Mr. Prospect? You see, so you gotta see these questions here, ladies and gentlemen. They help identify the key benefit that the prospect wants, but most of all, they help identify the key issue that the prospect has. So it's really good to learn to use these techniques, and then you obviously always be quiet after you say it, all right? Now, the last close is the summary close. The summary close is really easy. The summary close it's just after you shared the presentation, you shared everything, shared all the benefits, you say, Mr. Prospect, let's briefly go over what we talked about, okay? And you show all the features, you show them all the benefits, okay? And after you've shown them everything, you then say, see how phenomenal this is? Okay, so just look at all what you're getting for your money. All you're getting for your hard-earned money. Okay, so how about you give it a try? What do you got to lose? You see that? You know, you're not losing your $40. That's what you're giving them to understand, because the $40 a month that it costs to join on your bank card, okay, or your credit card, and the $20 a month that it costs, it's something called price versus cost. Okay, you can even say this is a freebie. I'm going to throw a freebie in for you all, okay? You want to let them know, another close here is called a relevant story close, okay? A relevant story close, a relevant story close is when you share a story with them, because people love stories. Tom Big Al Schreider is really, really good with this. He talks about facts tell, but stories sell. Facts tell, but stories sell. So you want to share a story with the actual prospect. The story will help them to identify. So you can say, Mr. Prospect, here's a story. There was a person, one time I remember in the business, you can just make up a story, right? It was a person that one time joined the business and he had some some landscaping done. They put in some concrete and he, of course, in the backyard, he got the best price. So the price that he got for the concrete laid down, he got the best price. But over time, over a couple of months, he started to see cracks in the concrete. So after a while, after 3 months, he saw a lot of cracks. Okay, then he noticed that, wow, I paid this price, a good price, but it seems I didn't get the best for my money. So he called back and the company said they can come back out and fix it, but it's going to be double the cost it was at first. And he said, why is it double? And they told him because they have to finish it, they have to start back over and lay the foundation again, and it costs by how the thickness is of the foundation, the base, in other words. So, in other words, the moral of the story is that the price is something that you'll pay one time, Mr. Customer, Mr. Prospect. The price is something you'll pay one time, but the cost is something that you pay over time. So you see, Mr. Prospect, even though it's $40 today, the $20 that you pay a month for the unlimited service is going to work better. It's going to not cost you in the end over the long run. Okay, so that's a relevant story.